Tom, Adventure for You here at our beautiful toaster site. Creating outdoor learning, that's our motto at our sister company Adventues, is a big part of what we're about here too. So I thought I'd try and create some outdoor learning today and teach you a little bit about one of my new hobbies, which is mushrooms or fungi. So luckily I found a couple of beautiful ones at our site, so I'm just going to quickly show you them and see if it's anything you're interested in. So you can see this little beauty is called a shaggy ink cap. Now yesterday it didn't look like this. Yesterday the actual cap was closed up. It's incredible how quickly these mushrooms can kind of blossom and go over. So today it's a lot more obvious why it's called that. You can see it's got a shaggy cap. And the reason it's called an ink cap is because if you look at the bottom of it, it's got this black colour. So what will happen is over the next few days this will turn into a droopy inky mess. And you can actually use them to get ink that you could use. So this is called the shaggy ink cap and this one is edible. You get quite a few different types of ink cap. But yeah, this is one to look out for. Beautiful little mushroom. Now, this is a new hobby to me and it is something you've got to be careful with. I have eaten one of my mushrooms I've found, but they are extremely complicated to ID at times. And obviously there's quite a lot of mushrooms which are poisonous. So it's probably not something you want to dive straight into. But there's an amazing website and service by a company called Wild Food UK. And basically you send them pictures of mushrooms you find and they will give you their opinion on what that mushroom is. So I've emailed in some pictures of the ones I'm showing you today and they've confirmed what my suspicions were on the identifications. Obviously they can never be 100% sure because it's just from photos, but it's just interesting for me to learn. So here's another beauty I've got, which I'll show you. So over here we've got this, which is a whopper. It's called a dryad saddle. And if I just put my hand in the picture, I've obviously got a pretty big hand, but that's how big the mushroom is. So it is a big old mushroom. So it's actually come off now. I hadn't done this. It's come off itself. That's it in my hand. And it's something called a polypore. So if you can see underneath, unlike the mushrooms you get from the shop where it's gills, it's actually a big sponge. So look at that, absolute beauty. Dryad saddle, which I think I'll double check is another edible one. So there you go, a couple of quick things on mushrooms. So maybe it's something you're not interested in at all. Maybe it's something you've never even thought about. But if you haven't thought about it before, give it a go now. I'm not saying to eat the mushrooms you find, but start having a look for them. You'd be absolutely amazed how you might have walked somewhere 100 times, never thought there'd be mushrooms anywhere around. And especially if you go out for walks in the woods, if you start looking now, you might see them everywhere suddenly. They're a fascinating thing. They connect in huge underground networks. They're a crazy organism. And if you're really interested, there's a great book called Entangled Life, which is all about some of the crazy things mushrooms can do. There's even one called a zombie fungus, which takes over the bodies of ants to help them spread their spores. So it basically takes the bodies of the ants over, makes them climb up trees or plants near an ant's nest, lock onto the bottom of a leaf, and then the mushroom grows out from their body. The ants are dead by this point, and rains spores down on the ant nest below, which is crazy, isn't it? What an insane thing that evolution's come up with there. So yeah, have a look around, see if you can open your eyes a bit and share some photos with us of all the mushrooms you've been finding, if you're interested. Cheers, guys.